Hi guys, it's Carol and Molly and Toby. How you doing? I am doing pretty good. I'm going to tell you about two channels that I would appreciate if you'd go watch them. One is GBL, the Old Church 5-Acre Homestead. I mentioned him when I did the video on the 20 fall questions. I tagged him at the end. I'm sure he didn't watch to the end and see that because he had COVID at the time. So he gets a pass for not doing the tag. But he only needs 89 more hours to become watch time to become monetized. So if you guys could go watch a little bit of Gary's channel. It's Gary and Betty. I think their last name is pronounced Late. They live in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. And the Old Church is his family's church for a generation or two or three. And he bought the church when it no longer was a church. And they're remodeling it to make their retirement home. So if you could go watch Gary's videos. He's a high school teacher. He has been a principal. He may still be a principal. I don't know. But he's retiring this year. So this is his last year to do everything at school. I enjoy his channel. It's mostly about growing things on the homestead and that kind of thing. And then the other channel I'd like you to watch is called Rosemary's You Rock Art. I know several of my subs, subscribe to her because she does coloring. You know, the other day I did a video on green chilies. I had a little clip of them roasting the green chilies in front of the grocery store. Well, she lives in New Mexico and she did a video on green chilies either yesterday or the day before. And I was really interested in it, and I thought you might like to see it too. She showed these 3 black trash bags full of chilies that she bought and took them home to freeze them to have chilies over the winter. When my sister and I were talking about green chilies, she said, my sister still lives in New Mexico, she said, do you realize how many people over here have a freezer just for their green chilies? Casey says, well, in Texas, we have a freezer for our beef. But anyway, if you would visit those two channels, that would be very, very nice of you. Not much going on here. I had my grandkids all week long, and we were just busy. But one of my subs suggested I make videos about my dogs, about how they came to be my dogs, I guess. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you about my first Schnauzer that I had. His name was Fred. I had 4 little kids at the time. My youngest was probably 4, and my oldest was probably 10. We watched Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers every day, and we named him Fred after Mr. Rogers. He was a silver Schnauzer. Some people call them salt and pepper Schnauzers. Some people call them gray Schnauzers. They're just that color. But when we got him, he fit in my hand. He was itty bitty. And the reason we got a Schnauzer is because numerous people in my family have asthma, and we wanted a dog that didn't shed. That's why I have Schnauzers and poodles. Anyway, I've got some pictures here. This is Casey when she was a teenager. She was probably about 16 here. That's Casey, and the gray silver dog is Fred. And then this is my youngest son. This picture was probably in 1997 or 98. And that's Fred. Fred was such a good boy. He was smart. He was a character. If we told him you've had enough treats or something like that and he got mad at us, he would, like if we were sitting on the couch, he'd walk right up to us, look at us, and then turn around and sit with his back toward us. That meant I'm mad at you. And he liked to watch TV. He would sit, and you could just see his little head, his eyes trained on that TV, watching whatever was on TV. Back then we used to watch a lot of PBS channels and, nature shows and stuff like that. He was little. He was well under 20 pounds. He was a miniature Schnauzer, and he was just our baby. Everybody in our family loved him. In fact, when I got divorced, the kids, my ex-husband had weekend custody of the kids and the dog. Whenever the kids went to their dad's for a day or the weekend or whatever, the dog had to go too. One time somebody broke into my house while I was at work and the kids were at school, and they came in through the back door, and oh, I felt so violated. They went through every room in the house because I could, I could tell by the mess. I used to keep cash in a glass jar in the freezer. I thought that was a safe place to keep money because if the house ever burned down, at least my money wouldn't burn up. I'm terrified of fire after our house burned when I was a kid. Well, whoever broke in took the ice cream and the meat all out of the freezer, the freezer on top of the fridge, left it on the counter in the sink to defrost, and took my jar of money. And then they went in the kids' bedrooms and took their piggy banks. They all had silver dollars that an uncle had given them when they were born. Those were gone. They took some jewelry I had. I didn't have any expensive jewelry at all, but they took my turquoise ring that I loved and a necklace, and they had a little diamond in it, not much of anything. But they went through my dresser drawers because my bras were scattered around the room. I just hated that they touched my underwear. But anyway, evidently Fred wanted to go with them because he got his leash. When I came home, the back door was still standing open, and his leash was halfway in the back door and halfway out. I'm sure he was saying, "Take me for a walk. Please, take me for a walk." Oh, Fred was a good baby. He died when my kids were all teenagers. It was horribly hard on us, horribly hard, because he was just a fifth child. That's all there was to it. But he was a good boy. Next dog we got was Maggie, and I will do another video about Maggie. She was also a silver Schnauzer. But Casey and I did a video on our dogs a while ago. When we ended, it was 48 minutes long. I told her, well, I'm not posting this thing. It's too long, and I don't know how to divide it up. When I did the long videos on the fall 20 questions, each one was about 20 minutes long. And on my YouTube studio page where I can see stats and stuff, the average watch time was 8 minutes. So I know y'all don't like long videos, most of you, because nobody watched the whole thing. Or some of you did. Some of you told me you did, but not very many. And I think I tagged 6 or 7 people, and none of them must have watched to the end except for Jules and M. She told me she would do the tag, but Nona Grace told me she watched till the end. Some other people also told me they watched till the end. I was going to show you something, and somehow it got moved. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got a card from a friend, and Tater said, "Oh, you've got to show them the envelope." My granddaughter loved all these stickers on it. And this is the back. This is for my friend Rebecca. She had a garden this year, and she made a bag of mint tea for me. I haven't had it yet, but I'm going to. And then she has these, it's stationery, and on the back it says, "If you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden." And that's a quote from the book Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Rebecca, I loved getting your letter. She also had another card for me, and she had stickers over it. Rebecca loves stickers and markers and coloring and things like I do. But Tater was very impressed with all the stickers she had. So I wanted to show those to you. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. Not much going on here. Hopefully, I didn't get anything colored this week. I didn't get anything pumpkin made this week, but hopefully this weekend I'll do both of those things. We'll see. I don't know. All right. What's going on with you guys? Let me know. Leave me a comment and tell me what's going on in your world. Here, the weather has turned fall. I think the high today was something like 64. It kind of sprinkled off and on. Tomorrow's supposed to be the same with sprinkles all day long, so it was wonderful. We just came in for a walk, and I had to wear a sweatshirt jacket because it was getting pretty chilly. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I enjoy this weather. It was so nice, much better than 100 degrees. Okay, guys, I don't know anything else. Please leave me a comment and let me know what's going on with you guys. If you would, go watch Gary's channel and Rosemary's channel. Tell them Carol sent you. Okay, bye-bye. In that 48-minute video about Fred that Casey and I made and I deleted, she told a story about when my kids were, Casey and Becky were in middle school. We lived in a house that had a wooden fence, and on really nice days, we would leave Fred in the backyard. Just for a little while, we did that. Now I wouldn't, because people steal dogs here, something horrible. But anyway, we had left him in the backyard because it was a really nice day, and when I came home, he was gone. I used to take my lunch hour from 3 to 4 so I could go pick my kids up at school, get them home, and then get back to work. Well, we came home, and Fred was gone out of the backyard. So frantically, I mean, he was our baby. Frantically, we went around the block to all the houses in the neighborhood asking if they had seen Fred. And this one couple behind us said, well, yes, I haven't seen him today, but I have seen him get out of your fence. There's a loose board that he can push through and squeeze out. He does it just about every day. He leaves in the morning, and then in the afternoon, sometimes we're out in the backyard, and we can see him go back home. I guess he had been leaving in the morning, going and visiting who knows where, and get back home before school time for school to be out, and be home when we came home. But for that one day, we never left him out alone again.